our phones on silent, please, if you don't mind, and let's unite two worlds closer together. Okay. And she also wants to tell me that she never had a chance to breathe before she passed over, so can I bring her forward? Is that all right? Yeah. And she also wants to tell me she's around your mum all the time. She's telling me there's enough ladies to go around, so all I say is you've got your fair trimmings or you've got your picking, right? And she's coming in with this big, massive, not a shopping trolley, but believe me, there's always something with her. And she's coming right at you, and she wants to tell me that she misses you dearly. She's bringing Dad through. Can I bring him forward, love? Is that okay? He loves you unconditionally. Don't ever think that you're very close to your father, but you want answers from your dad. Your dad wants to tell me there's no answer given on this. Okay? There's no answer given. He wants you to tour the world, and he wants to show me your map here. And he also wants to let me know here where you always pick up when I left off. If that means shouting and bawling and getting on people's nerves, he says, do it right. Is that okay? Right? And tell your mother I'm still around. Okay? And also tell her from me that I've run out of money. So I don't even know what that's going on. And when you bear in mind, he's trying to tell you that I've got this woman around and oh, it's me mother. It's me mother, get away. He's laughing and joking. He also wants to say, if you want anything, listen, I'll tell you something now. It's like paradise over here. He says, that's why you're not allowed to come in. He says, I had to persuade everybody. Right? He loves you to bits. Where's all the girls? There must be 4 of them all together. And is this the missus? Yeah. He loves you dearly. You know what it is? There's one thing he wants to say. He hated getting frustrated the way he passed over, love, and that broke your heart as much as it broke his. Okay? And over the last 2 years, you've just got to remember one thing. He's not put the weight on. He's gone like that. I haven't put the weight on. But I need to tell you, he says, what would I have done without you? He says, all taking your turns one after another. He says, I just needed peace and quiet when I got on the other side. And he wants to let you know here as well that he took a couple of trays with him. So he's gone like this, he took a couple of trays with him. And he also wants to tell you that he says, thank you for a beautiful send-off. You'd even got the pipes together. He says, what about that? He says, even the pipes together. He says, but do us a favour, Henny. There's nobody as good looking as you, and I'll keep on telling me mother that every day. He says, I miss you every day, and you've got to remember, he says, on an anniversary, it's back to back from each other. Don't worry about now. Don't worry about anything, but do us a favour. Don't ever forget where we are and what we believe in. Okay? He says, will you enjoy the sunshine this year? Yeah. He says, he wants to let you know here as well. He's singing, it's either pear drops. He's given us something connected to pear drops, right? You know when you get them sweets, the bag of pear drops, yeah. Right? He's given us a packet of them. He must like us. Like he's given us an offering because he normally weighs it up as he goes along. If your husband does that make sense, he normally say, right, if you give me an offering, I've got to get it back. But this time he wants to let right, thank you. You lost a brother young. Did you lose your brother young? Not young. Well, he was in his, was he 56 when he died? Yeah. Yeah, he's standing next to him. And he's gone like that, look at who I found. He says, I'll kick him down the stairs if you want. He says, look who I've found. And he's bringing his brother, but it's your brother. Do you see what I mean? And he wants to let me know that he's around your dad. He says, well, I could take him or leave him because sometimes he doesn't know if he's in a good mood or a bad mood. Right? And he also wants to let you know, he says, there's a Lil, he wants to give me this as well. He says, listen, I just want to tell you that I can talk now. Look at me now. Look at me now. He says, I'm not going. He says, that's not me anymore. He says, and if I can get through to you, I will. He says, but thanks for making sure that you did 2 Christmases. He says, thanks for making sure that you made it possible. He says, you'll never go down the road I went down. It's only made for one of us. He says, but don't worry, Henny. Do us a favour. He says, like the bagpipes, do us a favour. Just stop. Just remember. Don't stop loving us. And just always remember. I'm right beside you. Thank you. What's the connection to the song Alpha? Do you know the song Alpha? Right, have you heard of it before? Have anybody heard the song Alpha?
Office theme.
It's either Arthur, I can hear it.
Is it from the film?
It's from the film called Arthur, right? But you've got to listen to that song, if you can, right? But he's given us a Jude, and he's given us an Arthur, right? And he wants to let me know. He says, you hang in, I'm right beside you, but don't ever lose the magic in it. He said, because I've got everything I need over here. I'm not searching, so don't search anymore. Be happy, we'll be together again. He says, hello, mother, we've got a gun. I'm getting shoes at the door now. He loves you, and you enjoy your mess. You lost a baby. Can I bring him through? There's only so much you can take, you know. I've got a young man coming in. Can I bring them forward to say hello to you? And he wants to let me know he's sorry. Okay. And he also wants to say that you've got to stop looking for answers. And he also wants to tell me you've been a prize mum and you'll always will be. But he wants to let me know you couldn't reach where I was. Okay. He also wants to tell me, right, okay, you lost a connection towards your brother at the same time. Or did you lose a connection to your brother? Yeah. Can I bring him in? Can you talk to me, love? Yeah. Thank you. Just keep on talking to us, right? I keep on saying the why yes. Now we got right. I've got two gentlemen coming in here, and you know when you handed me your ticket, I felt them in your arms. Yeah. And I had to tell you that, and I just need to let you know that I know that you're very precise, and it's not that you're living on the fence with mediumship. You've got to see it to believe it. Okay, yeah. And that's you to a T. But he wants to let me understand here as well that he's with another gentleman that relates to you. So there's a connection to a son connection, and there's a connection to a brother connection. And I've got to honestly say here one thing: you can't only take so much, love, and I think you took it. Yeah. Does that make sense? It does, yeah. Yeah. And I need to see, and where's the twin? Have you got twins? No. Right, I'm not predicting that. Who's the two girls that are like twins here? Are they daughters?
I've only got one daughter. I'm carrying a daughter now.
Right, because I lost the baby.
I lost the baby in May.
So this is the baby now?
Yeah.
But I need to let you know one thing, they'll be twins. And don't worry about this, Ben, this time, the bloods are going to be all right. And don't worry about anything, because the scientists tell me it was out of your reach. There was nothing you could do. There was nothing you could do, but you blame yourself. You've got to stop it. Okay. And I need to bring energy of love and happiness to you. But they're trying to tell me that you're connected to the arm. They're trying to give me this as well. I've got a beautiful lady that wants to step forward here, and she's trying to tell me, oh, right, okay, is the baby due back in May? Yeah. Near enough the same date as the child that you lost in May.
I would conceive the child on this, like, that I lost on the same day that this one's due.
Thank you. So there's the twin. That child's lost. It's coming back around again. Yeah. Okay, there's your twin. And I need to say one thing. You were a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. Okay, because you know what it is? It's going to be a life changer. Now, I'm picking up on another gentleman coming through. Can I bring them through? You're Abby.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Can I bring him through to say hello to you?
Yeah.
Right, because he wants to let me know that he's sorry about his actions. And he also wants to tell me that he didn't have a chance to say goodbye, and this must be a brother connection. And he also wants to tell me that he left a lot of mess behind him. And I've got your mother in the room, so can I bring her forward as well? It must be your granny then, the lady with the plot. Yeah. It's your gran. Can I bring her in? Because she's saying, don't worry, I'll be your mother anything. She wants to let me know that she's around you. If you look at the image of each other, that's why they've got the same chin. They've got the same look. Yeah. And they've got the same chin. They're standing next to us here, and they're all around you. This lady wants to tell me that she's saying to me, just look after your mother, but look after her breathing. Yeah. And she's also trying to let me know here, if she fell out the family side, let her get on with it. But the connection with your brother is very, very strong, and he wants to let me know that he's carrying you to the best, to where you are. He says, don't you worry about a thing, this is going to be all right. So we're talking 2 and 3, 23, and whether it's me, that's what they want to tell me. want to let me know that they're always with you and that they're not far away from your heart. You walk in a room and there's collage of people's paintings. Yeah, and you can kiss every single one of them. They'll teach you how to do it, like, but you can kiss every single one of them as you go along. Okay, and they want to tell me here, tell your man that makes her smile. Now there's a connection towards a Joe. He wants to give me this, a Joe. He wants to give me it. He's saying to me, just go back and tell, I'm sorry. Just go back and tell everybody I'm all right. But that if you're going to have a gift in life, honey, you're already carrying it. They want to tell me they're all right, but they also want to say we don't like it too much going on with the audiences. So they want to let you know they're only here for a limited time, especially your brother. Can you understand the gentleman who had a problem with this? No. Can you understand the Stevie? No. Or a Stephen? No. Who had a problem with this? It's either Steph. There's an ST connection. A Steph, I can feel it in the neck. If you can't connect, I can connect with the shoulder. Right. Can I bring him through? Yeah. Because he wants to let me know here he's sorry. He wants to tell me that he's always in the background, but he also wants to tell me that the way that he did that, he shocked everyone. He says, I'm really sorry about that. And you often think of him. He says, the reason why you think of me because I'm there. Okay. He wants to let me know here that he says, listen, if the cap's gone missing, it's me. If the hat's gone missing, it's me. I'll keep your coats, but the hats, especially, they're me, right? He wants to let me know that he's crossed over, but he's making loads of music and he's making a record on the other side. He did that when he was here. He did. Yes. And he's also trying to let me know that he's with Nana. He says, but he says, that's a different story. He says, listen, nobody should judge me. I've already done my time. He says, I just want to let you know, I found my place in heaven. He says, watch out for me. You may be full of nurses and doctors, are you? He says, but believe me, we'll be waiting in the corridor. I miss you every day. We're not far away. And enjoy this. This is going to be all right. And by the way, they've got your baby born. They're pulling back through. Did you enjoy what that had to say?
I did, yes, thank you.
Can I bring this energy through? Is that all right? Yeah. It's a gentleman that wants to say hello to you and he's singing away. Can I bring him in?
Yes.
And didn't get us wrong. He's trying to tell us that he's a saint today, but he might be a sinner tomorrow. Okay, can I bring him in because he's addressing that he's dad. Okay, so can I bring him forward? Loves you to bits. And by the way, I can smell starch. I can smell, like, you know, when you start doing your shirts and all this, that and the other. Very smart man. And do you know one thing I like about him is that he's honest. He says, honest John, right? He wants to let me know he's fell over your mother.
That doesn't surprise us.
And he says, I've got to get in the door first because she's at the back of the queue. And he wants to let you know, if she's not in a chair, she's fine, and she's fine. And when you let her know, he says, here she comes, and all I can hear is, and I love you, Dad, can I take him home? He wants to let me know here as well that he's putting ribbons and bobbins together. He says, I've got to keep your mind occupied. He wants to let you know as well that you'll always be your jewels to him. And he says that I miss you every day. And where's the two girls? Are there sister connections? Where's the two of them?
I've got a daughter and sister.
Right, because all I can say to you is he's saying, sitting at them fall out again. Yeah, if you want to pick a mix, I'll give you the lot. If you want sweets and you want this ornament and that, here, I'll send us a copy because we only got them from the market. Right? He says, the only thing I need to say to you, honey, I never looked at Wells. He says, maybe it was me downfall. No. But he wants to let you know here that he took a picture with them and it was all three of us together. Mm. And he said, he showed me this picture and he says, I've had better days. He says, I've had better days. He's trying to tell us that something come back twice. He says it didn't come back 3 times. And he also wants to let me know that he never had a chance. Yeah. Okay. And he's talking about an illness there. He's talking about, he says, you talk more about the doctors. He says, it's a wonder you went to the Christmas party. He says, you were there more than anyone was, right? And he also wants to let you know as well, he says, listen, all the bruises are gone. He says, all of it's gone. He says, if you could see his new, he says, your mother would be right up the aisle. He says, but then do us a favour, honey. He says, you just stop the dizzy spells. When they stop the dizzy spells. Now he's given us an Ellen. Now he said, don't get it wrong, I'm talking to your dad here, you know. So if I get it all wrong, I'm sorry. It's the way your father works. Is that okay? Because he'll call you 6 names before he got your name right. Right? And I mean it. Because I can tell he's looking at us as if to say, you're going to trust my judgment. He wants to let me know that, right, okay, thank you. Your dad had a problem with his family.
Yes.
And they all died young.
Yeah.
He's with every single one of them.
Right.
And he got their names wrong now. Right? And he wants to let you know he got the baby brother that should have been the, how can I put it? Right, okay, thank you. There was a brother that should have been known, but didn't get noticed. This is on your dad's side, by the way. So he's trying to let me know, and by the way, he's just put his hand on the shoulder. Okay. So what I say to you is, he's trying to tell me to tell you that he's reunited with the brother that he lost so dearly.
Right.
And he's reunited with the people that he wished that he could have known more. He says, but all of a sudden they all went down. Okay. And he wants to sing that song, you know, that Bye Bye Blackbird. Bye bye Blackbird. He wants to sing that to give to you.
Right.
Okay. And he also wants to let me know here. He says, don't worry, your mother's coming on, she's on her way, but I'll have my say. So I'm sorry, there's no other messages tonight, everybody. Right? Because he likes to explain himself, right?
Yes.
And he's looking in the mirror over there as well, checking his hair, right? He wants to tell me that he's saying to us that I hope you understand that I found all my answers over here. He says, even everyone that I never thought would come across my path. He said, but isn't it lovely to know that I found them at last? He says, I was forever guessing.
Right.
So whether that's over his family,
With the,
it's all over his family and the grief that he had over the years. It made him bitter in ways. He wouldn't even talk about certain people.
yeah.
He says, listen, I've just had a pint with them. While you're sitting here talking to me, I'm at the bar. He says, I can be at 2 places at once. Right? And where's the connection to it? Richard, not Richie, but he's trying to give us a Richie. Either Richie, I need to give that to you.
Right.
He's saying to me that he's found everything that he needs to find in life. Like I keep on reminding you. But he says, listen, you just believe in one thing. He says, I'm not that far away when you need me. Okay. And he says, I know that you've got the ring on the fingers and bells on your toes. He says, but I'll be the music. Okay. And he wants to let you know as well that he says, you couldn't prize us apart, honey. You couldn't prize us apart. He's saying to me, he's bringing your mother through now. Okay. For a moment, of course. Right. Because we are going to be here all night, you know that, don't you? Right. But I just want to let you know, your mother is a beautiful woman. She's very, very strong, but she's got children with her. She's got loads of kids with her. Okay. And with you bear in mind as well, she just wants to come through to let you know that it was like a fever. And then all of a sudden they took her. She wants to tell me she's not like that anymore. And she says she never even had the chance to come for it. She says, I'm all right, honey. I'm absolutely fine. But I fell over my mother. Okay. And with you bear in mind, there's a Doris as well. So she says, I fell over there now. She wants to let me know that she says, me and your father, she says, he's not my last resort, but I'll have to stick with him. We've been together for 48 years, with her.
57.
Your dad's just given us 48. Right? Beautiful, lovely people. Just warm your heart to know that they're together. You just want to let me know, your mother especially, she's tested my patience. Right? And she just wants to tell you that she's found a little bit of peace in paradise, but with the sister that she missed.
Yeah.
She says, I love you so much. I'm always with you. And tell the kids I miss them. And here, there's a final. Everything's a final. Right? Tell the kids I miss them. Because Nana's in the room. Everybody wants to. She says, I'm not far away. She said, but at least you know, I couldn't take another step in. She says, I miss you. I've got to go. She says, what's the connection to the ice cream man? Or ice cream?
Just a bit, pop lady, but I don't know what
Well, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, it's not because ice cream. But I need to let you know, I can just tease, like, you know, like the connection to.
Oh, they used to go buy an ice cream now and again.
Right?
St Mary's Lighthouse.
They've gone for an ice cream.
Yeah, that's what we used to go to.
Sit on a bench on the lighthouse and go for an ice cream, well, that's where they're away. Right? And she's trying to tell you the finer things in life count. I miss you, Hen. You're going to be all right. Thank you. Is that okay? And he wants to let me know he's kissing the top of your head here and he wants to tell you he's all right. But he's not saying who he is. He doesn't want to. He just wants to. How can I put it? Do you know when you feel like you've run with each other and you just run between each other's arms? That's it. You got it made. But I tell you something now. You'll fight anyone's corner. Will he not? He's like ice and fire. He's like fire when he starts. Okay. He wants to bring in a connection to Dad here. So can I bring this forward as well? Is that all right? Because what a lovely man. You can write so much in a note of how much you loved your dad, but there's no words enough.
He's still here. Dad's still here.
Is your dad still here? But he wants to write connection to whether it's a confession. Can I bring this forward? Is that all right? Because I need to let you know here that he wants to sort it out with Dad. Can you accept that? I mean, you bear in mind as well, he's trying to let me know here that he's all right. He's fine. But he also wants to say to me that he couldn't, I just feel like I just couldn't, I'd had enough of life. I just had enough. So is this your partner though?
It's my dad's brother. I might be Mark, I just confused it because
Right. Your dad's coming in, and believe me, this is an uncle connection, and he's the double of your father, but he's a little bit taller in him, right? And don't get us wrong, whether he's raised all his life, he's still up and doing like a yo-yo, right? He's just built up a patio over there, he'll do out for you, right? But the way he passed over, your dad had to pick up the pieces, and your dad's never got over that. It's like it's left him raw. Does that make sense? And you cannot have the words to say to him. He says, it's me. I need to sort it out with your father. He says, so go and prize him away from us and remote control and bring him down here and me and him will have the right conversation. Right? I mean, you bear in mind, he says, tell him from me, I've got all the money in my back pocket. We're gonna go on a mission. Right? And I've always got a broken down van. Or I've always got something broken. I've got this, that, and the other. He comes in like a hurricane. I'm not saying he's Hurricane Mark, like, but we're going to give that a go, okay? And he also wants to let you know that he's found peace where he is. But isn't it remarkable? You've never been to a funeral where you could turn around and say that the sector between one side of their family were all for him and the other side. Why do people go? Why? Tell us. You know what I mean? If you've got anything to say, keep it to your own counsel, man. Don't go to a funeral and start giving us crocodile tears. Because he wants to let you know every single one of them are clipped out of the heat. They're all in the making and I've done like that. But it wasn't. And he wants to let you know as well, he says, it's all about me and your dad. I miss my brother. I missed him all my life. He said, but I've never missed him as much as I miss him now. Because your dad's dead proud. And if anybody's going to be name calling, I'd rather go to talk to your father in his face. Because believe me, he is so hard done by what's gone on, and there'll never be an answer through this. He says, I couldn't give you that neither. Okay. He says, maybe I knocked around with that hooligans and this, that, and the other. He said, but I was only trying to please people. He says, maybe the wrong ones. Aye, maybe so. He said, but do us a favour. He says, I got on the other side, and he says, I haven't touched the drop since. You can let him know. Okay. Will you also remember one thing? He says, where's the jackets? Why did you all wear jackets?
Because he wasn't the only.
Thank you. Because he wants to let you know here as well. Did you put the bugle on the side?
We weren't there, we were too little, but possibly that, possibly.
Because he wants to show me a bugle on the side. And he also wants to let me know as well. You'll be imaging your mother.
I am as well.
And he wants to tell us here, he's saying he always gets upset around about New Year. He says, I understand why. He says, but tell him from me here, he can have me buried. Okay, he can have me buried. He said, but there'll never be an inquest about what happened. He said, Dad, because people were to blame. He says, it doesn't matter now. I've crossed over. He says, as handsome as I am, didn't tell your father that. He says, but do us a favour. Do us a favour. He says, I just want to let you know, tell him thank you very much for keeping that alive. And also, it really gets to a New Year. He says, over the 23 years or 23, he says, it doesn't matter about that. He says, I just want to let you know that I'm with Nana and I come and took her. I'll come and took her away. He says, how am Mum? It's your time to go. He says, I didn't want to take her, but I left from one brother's arms to another. He says, she's with me now. He wants to show us a sparrow. A sparrow.
Yeah.
He wants to show us a sparrow. And he wants to let you know, we use a lot of spoogies. And he also wants to say, go back and tell your father, when he's sitting there with that one glass that lasts him all night, it doesn't. And also let him know from me that me and Mum are sorting things out, because I broke her heart as much as it broke mine. He says, wrong place at the wrong time. He says, no, I had my life taken away from other stupid people's stupidity. That's what my story is. He says, anyway, something like that. I love you. And I can just hear the King's salute as he's gone back.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. You got it. Mm-hmm. Are you okay, everyone?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
When I wake, I'm sorry, but I only see the person I'm talking to. The rest of you, so there's nothing to blame. I've got to go into Specsavers, like. Right? It's just the way I wake. It's like everybody else is oblivious. Right, okay, here we go. Oh, dear God. Right, okay, thank you. It's a memory. It's a memory. Can I bring this energy through, my love? You didn't have to look at the itches out. Right. I've got your mother through. Can I bring her forward? Is that okay? Now, she had a really bad problem with it, with an illness. Did you change her? Mm-hmm. She wants to let me know she's better. But you hated that. Like you lost your man 5 years before she passed. And she wants to let me know she's better. She's standing in the room here, look. And she's got the radio going in the background. Okay? And she's with your dad. So can I bring him through as well? Well, he's still here. And he's still causing mischief.
Yes, he is.
She's with your dad. She sits in the dining hall, you're having the mahogany tables and all this, that, and the other. She's with your father. So every time you come in the door and it's like, I've got to go, Dad, see you later. Don't do that. Have a cup of tea with them. She says, honey, if you're looking for an angel, I'm sitting on your shoulder. She says, I love you so much, but I hated the fact that I had to change my personality over something that it wasn't. It just come and took us away. And she wants to let me know now. She says, you deserve that holiday, honey. and you deserve everything. She says, so will you do us a favour? She says, can pack me bag. She's got a lady. You're all going to live abroad, but not yet. Not that the northeast is not good enough for you. You take the northeast. The old saying goes, as the old saying goes, you can take the last house in your castle, but you can't take your castle out. Okay? But she wants to let you know that you've got to take it easy at the minute, Shed, because I know for a fact I'm watching you. I'm always in the back of the car, but you cannot hear us, she said, because I haven't got my earpiece in. She wants to let me know there's a friend. She's given me this. She's with another lady. Oh, they must be either cousins or sisters. Can I bring them through as well? I didn't get it wrong. I'm not saying that I'm going to give you impressions and numbers here, but they're all telling me how did that and what happened to them and this, that, and the other before they leave, okay? But your mother wants to say that she's with good company. That's where she is. And she wants to tell you that your dad's very lonely. Have a cup of tea with him, honey. Just ignore the kitchen. Didn't Dean out to him. And didn't whinge at him, Henny, she said, because he's trying his best. Okay. Where's the connection to Tommy or Tom connection? Right, if you can't connect with you, have a think about it on the other side here, look, and we'll ask you that. I need to bring in a connection towards another gentleman that died, and he's right beside your mother here. So they're all together, every single one of them. And she's seen two that passed over younger than the rest of us, tried to live a good old age. Right? And she also wants to let you know of connection towards it. Is it Maggie? Maggie, she wants to give us this as well. She's saying to me, I'm around you when you're with your father, you know. And she says he's all fingers and thumbs at the minute. She says, will you just give him a chance? And will you let him know? Don't let him know that his father's with him because she knows what we're going to hope. Right? But will you let him know that I'm with him? Right. What's with the connection to the police? And now that we've got police officers and that, where's the connection to either police or connection to a uniform connected to your father? My dad, it's connected to him. She wants to give it over. And she's trying to tell me here, it's nothing about the police here and now. It's about the gentleman that's with her that's connected to your father. And he was in a uniform. Okay? And he's standing right next to her. So all I say is she's with him. She's with George. She's giving me that as well. She's saying to me that she's with people from your dad's side as well as her own. But she said that's me and your father to a T. And she wants to let you know here, he was a good dancer in his day, you know.
Your dad?
But then it's your father.
Oh, your dad's still here.
He was a good dancer in his day.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the granddad she's talking about. He was a good dancer in his day. She's saying to me that whatever happens here between all the love that we've got for each other, Henny, I'm sorry that I can't share it with you. She said, but I wish that you could only hear us. And she just wants to let you know every time you're designing flowers, she says she's with you. And every time you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, she says she's definitely with you. And she wants to say, just enjoy life, but do us a favour. Stop and see your dad. That's the reason why I've come in. Yeah. There should be 4 of you all together doing this. Why is there only one? It's the 4 of you that look after him.
Yeah, 4 kids, yeah, there's 4.
Right, well, the 4 of you should be doing this. Why is there only one? And she's trying to give us a tow rope. And she's trying to tell us to tug a rope. She says, there's 4 of you all together. But why is it only you that go? So why didn't you tell them that? She says, do us a favour. Don't give up on him, because he needs you right now. She says, I haven't got much time, I've got to go soon. But before she does go, she's given you a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And she said, done them myself. And she likes to fiddle on the things, right? She also wants to tell me here, she says she sprays everything that she sprays herself and every time she comes out the door, right? She says, I'm always beside you. I love your values, she says. but I just want to let you know, you're doing a grand job. When I can't see you, I'm not that far away. She's given us a connection to a Chris. She wants to give me this. And then she's trying to tell me, I haven't got much time, Hen. I've got to go. She's pulled back through. Did you enjoy the message?
Yeah.
Right. It's connected on this side of the table, okay, so I've got to give this out. But the way that it's coming across to me is like they're trying to tell me they're a long way from home. So can I bring them through?
Yeah.
And I need to let you know here as well that there's a gentleman that's trying to let me know here that he couldn't talk, he choked, he wants to let me know he's around here. Can I bring him forward here, love? But he misses you dearly. Because you're the big sister, or you're the one who always looks after them, or there is always change here, and you're always making sure everybody's all right and fed and watered and everything else. And it's just shame, okay? It's a shame because you couldn't understand from you've got to see it to know it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he's also saying to me, I left a little bit of uncertainty. I left a little bit of uncertainty behind them. So can I bring them forward? Is that okay?
Yes.
He's got an Alsatian dog with him. Can I bring? I'm not saying that I'm connecting to dogs here. Can you understand the connection to a big fluffy dog?
To dogs, I can.
Yeah, because I need to let you know he's got all of them. Okay, and he just wants to let you know that he's feeding every single one of them. And believe me, all I can smell is crispy bacon. Okay, and if they didn't get us wrong, I'm picking up on a really strong connection to Dad as well. So can I bring him forward? And what a lovely man.
Thank you.
Well, very, very sincere man. He's got all the time in the world. He could have done a lot more, you know, your father. And I didn't get us wrong. He's a very popular man. I can see that he's got a line of people around him. And I can understand that as well. But when your dad speaks, it's like gospel. Yeah? And you can understand why you've got all the respect in the world for your father. Yeah? But I'm picking up on a connection to a younger man that's standing next to him. I've got all this connection, but I'm going to stay with your dad. Is that okay with you? Yep. And all I say to you is, but like I say to you, if your dad's in the room, you're going to be all right. Yeah?
Yeah.
And he'll build you anything you want. Anything that's rained, he's got it. And didn't get us wrong, you didn't make men like this anymore. Okay? And he just wants to let you know that he's sorry that he choked on a little bit of gristle. He says it's not the way that it should. He's trying to tell me he's with other gentlemen, but I just don't feel like your dad's got any time or any connection. He just can't be on with it. He's trying to tell me here. Can you understand the paralysation? One side of the heart didn't fit right. Can you accept that? Because he wants to show me a gentleman that's with him, and one side of the body didn't fit right. Okay, so I need to bring that through and say hello to you. Now I've got a Jim. He's trying to tell me that as well. He's saying to me, whatever you need, he says, here, there, I'm offering it to you. Whatever you want, he gave it to you, your father. Okay, but don't get me wrong, the people that he's right beside here is the ones that he's been trying to see for a long time. Okay, but he also wants to give you a brother. Will you take that connection as well? Because he wants to give you a brother.
Yeah, not in the spirit.
Here. Yeah. And he says, tell him I send love.
Okay.
Okay, because all of you stick together. You seem to me, and I'm sorry that I never slipped. He's trying to tell me of a slip. He's trying to tell me that he couldn't hold himself. He also wants to let me know here as well. Do you know when you see somebody, he's trying to tell me it's not that he deteriorated. He's saying you weren't meant to be there, but you should have been.
Yeah.
And he says, don't beat yourself up over that, honey. He wants to let you know, don't. Now he's giving me a genie in the bottle. He wants to give me this as well. He's saying to me, whatever happens here, whatever you do, and you're in a room full of laughter and cheer, he says, I'm right beside you. Right? And he says, because it's not that you get the words wrong, that's your mother. Okay, and he wants to let me know that he shows you so much gratitude because that's your father. That's the way it goes. But he's trying to tell me it's number 17 here. He's giving me as well. He's trying to give me a loop. He wants to give me this. He's saying whatever happens here, him. I'll always be singing your praises. So whatever happens between the love we've got for each other, you're not that far away from my heart. Okay. Where's the connection to the 5? Can you accept that? Yeah. He says, I've got the 5. Yeah. He says, I had to come through. You want more answers, but not in a room like this. Yeah. He says, it's not the way. He says, it's not the way. He says, but I've got the 5 in my hand, see, and I just want to let you know. Well, all right. He says, and by the way, take this up and ring. Take anything you want. He says, but do us a favor. Don't stop living this in. He's got the 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I've got a lady coming in here and she said, you know that song that you get, 1 potato, 2 potato, 5 potato, 6 potato, can I bring that through? Is that okay? Can I bring that through? Is that all right? And you love your granny. She's your best mate, right? And she says, didn't be spoiled. Didn't be spoiled, Penny, right? But she wants to let you understand here that she went dancing up the pearly gates. Right? She deteriorated a lot, love, and it's not what you wanted to say. But she's trying to tell you, keep that out of your mind because that's not me. And she's met Dennis the Menace, right? And she wants to let me know as well. She says, by the way, she says, I've still got that trinket that you've got. I've got one side of it and you've got the other. And she says, here, let's put it together and we'll go on again. She says, I'm all right, I've got double coats on, I'm fine. Right? The hands are all right now. I can actually hold things together, she says, but that's a good thing. She says, I don't need any introduction. She says, I'm your best mate. I mean, you went down a hell of a road. And she wants to let you know the time when you're feeling and I was resting. She says, I left you and I shouldn't have. You've just had the baby. Right. Well, where's the connection to the birth that went wrong? Is that your baby? And I need to let you know, was that 12 years ago? Right, well, she's giving me number 12 and she's telling me that you've got a daughter. So can I bring her through? And she wants to let me know she adds to the other 2. And she wants to tell you if she loves you deeply. And she sits on your knee. Okay? And when you feel cold on that side, that your daughter coming through for you. Because she's saying to me, one thing, the blood's way at night. Okay? And she says, I had to take the baby away. I didn't want to. She says, I wanted to leave it with you. She says, but it wasn't mine. She also wants to say, she says, now listen to me. She says, I'll have to come through to let you know. She said, but while you're there, just make 2 rams of tea. Right? 1 for one and 1 for the other. She also wants to let me know that she's met back up with Grandad. She said, but I'll leave that alone. She's saying to me, there's nobody else that is going to come through here that won't give you the voice. She says, I know that you want one member of your parents coming in. She says, not at the minute. Okay. Is Mom still with us? Yeah. Look after her. And will you tell her from me as well that she's got a fan? She's got this with a Spanish fan, right? And will you let her know that I'm not far away from her? And she's trying to tell us of a connection with the Jane. She's giving me this. She's saying, whatever happens here, hen, just remember, I smile down her all the years because she bends. But I also remember, you decided to be a kid and move up the northeast, did you? Who did? Was that her son? And did they move to Somerset? Or they moved down south? Right. If you can't connect to that, you ask your mother. Because she wants to let me know she reaches a gentleman that's abroad. Or she reaches to somebody that's abroad. Okay. That belongs to her. But she wants to tell me she goes to see him because nobody else will. And she says the only reason I'll do that is because he's my son. And she's trying to tell you, she says, don't go back and tell your mother that because she'll get upset. but just let her know from me. I'll do anything for my kids, but I'll go to the earth for them. And she wants to let you know here as well. She's handing you all the carnations and all the flowers. She says, but I have to go over to make sure he's not on the other side, so he's got to make sure he's here. So she goes to see. She also wants to tell me here as well that there is another connection to another 2 ladies that are next to her. And one of them, she's made a peace. She says, but that'll be the first, right? And she also wants to let me know have a connection with them, not Marilyn, but I can hear Mary or connection with an MAR. She's saying to me, I'm fine when you're all sleeping. I pray you in. And she says, don't worry about us. I'm bringing Jesus in the door with us as well, right? And don't worry about the family, she says, but just always remember one thing. I know you're searching for that. She says, I understand. She's telling me, who lives on an island? I know we live on an island. What's the connection to Ireland? Yeah. She's shot an island. Okay, can you accept that? Well, she wants to tell you she comes to Ireland. Yeah, and she really wants to stay here. And the reason why I've got to bring it, because she's trying to whisper in my ear, saying, tell her I'll pop to Ireland. And tell her that all right now. And yet the resting place is there, but I'm not there. She says, do us a favour, Hilly. Just always remember, when them flowers are blooming, it's me. The robin in the window, it's me. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget you. And you're going to be all right this time. Whether it is a bomb, not your bomb, but it's bomb. She's giving me this as well. I want to keep her here all night. She wants to stay. Okay. I didn't get it wrong. She most probably be popping around the back of there into the kitchen because that's what she does all the time. But it's her way of letting you know she's with you, but she's around your mother too. So please tell her, didn't let her blood boil. Look after her. Always remember I'm not far away. But she says, I've got to go now, Henny. And she's taking the babies with her. She's gone back through. Did you enjoy what she had to say? Thank you. Can I speak to the lady here?
Do you want me?
Can I speak to you?
Yeah.
Because I've got a gentleman coming through that's threw enough stones here. Okay, he's definitely connected. Are you connected to the lady there?
Yes. Yeah.
Is this mum and daughter? Yeah. Right, well, your father wants to have a word with you. Not again. Right? I need to bring your father through.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to tell me to tell you, right, that he does believe in you. He believes in you.
She doesn't cheer very well.
Are you Joanna?
Yeah.
Oh, Joanna, don't you cry for me. Right? He wants to let you know that he believes in you. And that he understands that you don't believe in yourself. He says, of course you do, Vinny. And he's got a young man that belongs to you. And he's found him on the other side. But can I bring him through as well?
Yes.
Because I'm going to go, I'm going to touch this, you know why? It's not that we're letting the cat out the bag. You just need to know that these two are together. Okay? And there's a gentleman that you've loved and you've lost them. And she wants to tell you, he wants to see he's found them. He says, he just wants to let you know he comes in and kisses you. And you never got over losing him. Okay? And you never ever understood it. But your father said, I found them, honey. And we're all right now. Okay? But he just wants to say, Joanna, do us a favour. Whenever you feel lost, you just go and see your mum. He said, because you're never lost when I'm around you. He says, he's telling me, there's a Paulie, he's trying to give me this connection. He's saying to me, there's a gentleman here that you adored him, and then he died very quickly, and he broke your heart. He says he's with him, and he's found him, and he's all yours now. He says, but that's between ourselves. And he wants to let you know, he says, I took him for a couple of pints for yours as a tenant. And he just wants to say to us, there's a Mickey, Michael, he wants to give us this as well. And he seemed to me to tell you, listen, he says, and now that you want to bring people through that you haven't seen before, and now you want to bring people through that you haven't connected to before. He said, but there was one thing, I'll lead the way, Henny, because I now have to get to your heart more than anyone. So Dad says, he's with me now, so I look after him for you. And he says, you look after yourself. By the way, did you get your cottage? Or did you get your bungalow? No. It's on the cards. Will you let him know? When you get your bungalow and you get settled, you're saying it's on the cards, and I'm sitting there opening the door for you.
Yeah.
Right? So Dad says, do us a favour, honey. Just be happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, right, okay, thank you. Yeah. We'll bring the sanity forward here. It's in this area here. I've got a beautiful lady that wants to come in here. She's connected me there with the lady in the blonde hair. Can I bring her through? Yeah. Because she's adorable. Okay, and she smells like a beautiful flower. Can I bring her in? Yeah. And she wants to let me know here as well that she's not counting her blessings. Okay. She's got to connect me to Mom. So can I bring this forward as well, love? Okay, is that all right with you? Right. So she's telling me that she's beside your mother, but your mother's still here, is she? And don't get us wrong, I'll tell you something now. Is she on a rocket? Are you sure she hasn't got two bus passes? Because she's the two places at once, this woman, right? Can I bring this gentleman through as well? This must be your father. Because I just need to let you know, I've got your auntie coming in from your mother's side. Can I bring her forward? And once you see one, you see 12. And don't get us wrong, all I see is this lady says, I've got a necklace. Right? And tell her from me that she's all over the place. I don't know who she's feeding. And she got an army in her garden. Right? And if this is off your father, this, by the way, he says it's costing me a fortune, this. Right? And your dad's a wonderful man. Oh, by the way, you should have pressed his shirt properly. I've got your auntie and talking to everyone else on one side, and I've got your father whispering in the background, having a little bit of a mutter to himself, right? So I've got like everybody talking to us at once, right? And I'm just waiting for the encore, me. But your father wants to let me know that he didn't tell your mother this. Your dad had a lot of sisters, didn't he? Right, who's the lady with all the sisters? Right, well, I need to let you know there's a lady coming through with loads of sisters. Okay, 5 or 6 of them. And she wants to let me know that she loves you very much. But she never even admitted it in the end. And she wants to let me know that she's sorry about the way she treated him. And she also wants to say, he didn't take him away. She says, I gained the daughter. And she says, I'm sorry for the little bit of a rift that I left between kids. I should know. And she says, I just want to let you know, I think the world gave me, but I never got a chance to tell you that. So she's come through and she's got a stampede, and your father's going, whoa, where's the station? Right? Where's the train? Yeah? There's ashes to ashes, dust to dust. This is your mother-in-law I'm talking about. Right? And believe me, it's a wonder your mother said something to her. Okay? There's a connection to a Claire, CL. When you take that connection. Now, this is your mother-in-law we're talking about, so you've got to think of her side of the family. She wants to come through because she was just she was so bowed down about what went on. And she never raised an alarm out of spite. And then everybody else ran around after her, and that's what she wanted in the end. She says, I'm really sorry. Will you go back and tell me? I miss the son. But can I bring them through? He's right beside you. He always has been. The best thing that ever happened to you is never gone. Because you've got your girls, haven't you? And have you got your kids? That's all you need. But he's the one who died very quickly. And I just need to let you know here. She's gone. She's never gone. Does that make sense? And when you bear in mind of Jack the lad, and when you bear in mind of all the love and understanding, but I'm picking up on a gentleman that's kissing the top of your head here, and he wants to tell me, I wish that we could have changed things. Because if I would have known, I would have died as young as I did. I would have changed things. But I didn't. And I died in your arms, and that's where I want to be. And he wants to tell me here that he's with your father, he's with his mum, but he had to get his mother to come in to say sorry to you. Is that okay? Because he's trying to tell you he's got a tummy gun and he's shot my bowel. Okay? Look after yourself, he says. And yeah, I never left it anything. He says I did. He says I left you 2 beautiful photographs of us 2 before I passed. And he says, just tell the kids I miss them every day. And I'll always be their dad. And I was with you. Christmas Eve. When them lights were going on all over the place and you're standing at the window, I was with you Christmas Eve. And he also wants to say here. He's trying to give us all these paperwork. He's giving us all this, and he says, just telephone me. You can sift through it as much as you like, and you'll never find me. Okay? Try and put A to B, it's like a Rubik's Cube. He says, you'll never find me. He says, so tell the kids that. If you're looking for answers, down to the grave. He says, and thank you very much for the beautiful singer. He said, because I never thought people would come that far. He said, I love you dearly. I'll always be the love of your life. When things are going wrong, I'll always make them right. I miss you, but I'm with you now. He says, I've got to go here. He's kissing the top of your heads. Did you enjoy the message? Poof, you just, right, okay, thank you. Where's the connection to Bob? Of Robert's connection?
I had an uncle.
No, I'm getting your husband coming through. Can I bring him forward?
Your husband?
Is he here?
Yeah.
Right, it's a connection to a gentleman that's coming in. Can I bring him forward?
Yeah.
And I need to let you know there's 2 of them, 2 gentlemen that are coming in here. So I need to bring them forward. Is that all right? Yeah. And this has got something to do with a connection to a brother and dad. So can I bring them forward? Whereas your brother's here.
I'm going.
Right, well, it must be dad. Can I bring him in? Is that okay? Brother-in-law. Yeah, lovely gentleman, very smart. Okay, can I bring them forward? Is that okay? There's not going to be nothing matter. Don't worry about anything. But it's your dad that has given me the comfort, and your mother's given me the comfort as well. Okay, and they want to tell me here that there is a love and harmony coming through, and they're also bringing a young man through as well. So can I bring him forward? There's one thing they're trying to tell me here, that especially around your mother. She's always healing everyone when she can. She's always trying her best. But I just can't see you bridging that gap with her. Okay? And I can't see that gap being bridged. She's trying to let me understand here that she stands beside all 4 of you. She said when she can. And she also wants to let me know here as well that she's got another gentleman standing in front of her. So she's saying she's looking after him. And she's looking after Dad too. Where's the owl?
Alec or Al connection. Can you accept the Al? Okay, they're bringing this gentleman through. I need to let you know as well of a connection with the genie. They're trying to tell me as well. Your mother wants to tell me she'll pick up where you left off. And she also wants to let me understand here as well. She's not out of breath anymore. She's saying to me, whatever happens here, she's got a beautiful, like a dove, like a lovely piece. She wants to give me this. And you've got to go abroad. Will you take this? You're not going. It'll be your daughter. But you better mind this. Because she's trying to tell me you're Joni. And then she's trying to tell me Joni. And then she's trying to tell me you have another sister. And she's saying you've got to go abroad. She wants to let me know that she's bringing a connection towards a gentleman coming through, and he wants to tell me he's around you. And he's always beside you. Okay? And he also wants to let me know that he never had a chance to basically understand from one organ to the next. Didn't work out. And you bear in mind, he adores you. If you got it made in love and happiness, love, you got it made there. Okay? And he wants to tell me that no matter what happens, he says, he's got an umbrella here. He's got everything he needs. He says, here, come under shelter with us. I'll look after you. What's the connection to Joan? Joan. Right. Well, you bear in mind of the connection with an Ellen and a Joan. And you've got to go abroad. I'm not saying that you're going to be flying anytime soon, like, right? But you've got to go. It's coming now. Okay? And they're trying to tell me to go abroad. This gentleman wants to come through and let me know here that you've done the best you can to everything and everyone. And he's also saying to me, do me a favour, just try and find a bit of peace when I am around you. And he wants to let me know, of course, I'll wait for you. And he's also trying to tell me, whatever happens here, just do me one thing. Don't stop loving me. Just don't stop. He said, because that's something I want to do. He wants to see my glass is half empty now. It's never half full. And he also wants to let you know that he's found answers on the other side. He says, but not so much of that. He says, I just had to come through to tell you, I wish that I could give you the gifts of life. He's pulling his energy back through, but he's also trying to tell me that he was like, not that he went aged overnight, just something struck him. And then he was never the same. He's saying to me, whatever happens here, just look after yourself. Do us a favour. I don't know about this. He's trying to tell you, do us a favour. I am in the eye of you as much as you're there for me. He says, so don't listen to anyone else. Just listen to what's going on. He says, and what else can you ask for? He says, I'm all around you and everywhere you are. Don't give up on us. Just remember, the love crossed over, and that's where I am. You've got to go abroad. Don't tell me that. There's an Australian flag here in Naomi. You've got to go abroad. Will you remember that? No, it's coming in October. So they're trying to tell me, if you go, if you go, we go. Take that as a beautiful compliment. And don't forget, we're not that far away. Pulling that energy back to the mother. Did you enjoy the message at the game? How can I put this in terms? I've got a gentleman coming through. Can I bring him forward? Is that okay? He's coming in. There's no messing around with him, man. Okay.
And he should have been a Geordie, but he's not. Can I bring him in? Now, I'm not saying that you're the heart of Scotland. He is. I need to bring your dad through. Is that all right? Yeah. Are you two connected? Right, it's your best mates. Yeah. It's yourselves. Yeah. There's a religious lady coming in as well. She wants to let you know that she prays for you every night. Okay, and I also pick up on a new man that's stepping forward as well. Can I bring him forward? Yeah. And all I say to you is, your father says he's reeling you like fishing. He wants to tell you as soon as he got a hook on you, that's it, he's away. Right? And he's laughing and joking here, but he's the top of the Scotland. He's saying, you go to a long way and I'll go there, and I'll be in Scotland before you. He wants to let me know here. He's laughing and joking now. Your mother's standing behind him. She says she has to. She's done it for years. Well, it must be his mother. Yes, because she's the one with all the she had an engraving problem with the mind, did she? And she had a steel in the mind. Wolf. How can they put steel caps in your head? What's that all about? You couldn't do it there. You're raising along wherever you can. Right? But she's standing here next to your dad. It's supposed to be your father. It's got to be. Now, didn't get us wrong. I'm telling you something now. He's come in I'm not saying he's a Roman soldier, but he's come in, right? There's 3 other men standing next to him. He wants to let you know, oh, all this, that, and the other. When you tell your mother to pack it, right? And when you let her know from me that I'm right beside her, he says, but every time I sit there and we have a conversation here, I always roll my eyes. Okay? He wants to say, I would have to be the one that would send it off. And I would have to be the one that sits there and all the rain, he says, I never even had a chance to even take me 70s. He says, look at that. Right? He wants to let you know he's found his mother. He said, but when I found her, I couldn't see her. He had 2 mothers then. Yeah. Thank you. Because one of them died, and then the other one looked after him. Yep, and then he had all the siblings and all. He says, with the talk of Glasgow. Right? Was he the one that went to Ayrshire? Ayrshire, right, not Ayrshire. Right. So is that on the crest of Scotland? And he goes to the right, and he wants to let you know as well that there's a John. He's trying to tell me. And he's also saying to us that he passes people over, and if they're not related, he says he puts them in the bin. Right? And he sets them onto the back door. He says, you come with me now, him. You come with me, I'll let you know not to go down the slope. Down the chute, he says, down the chute. Right? He's always with you, he says, but you're the type of lady I need to be around. Right? And he also wants to see your mother's got peace and quiet here, but didn't tell her I've come to see you or stuff with a storm and a teacup, right? And he also wants to let you know, oh, right, thank you. Did you lose your son? Can I bring them in? He's got the 2 of them waking in the garden. Yeah. Right? And he's also trying to let you know, he says, whatever they've gone through in life, he says, I need to tell you, he's left you a broken heart. He says, I've mended theirs. Especially your youngest, your baby. How can you come to terms with that thing? 1 minute you're absolutely fine, he kissed you on the cheek and went off the door, and how can you come to terms with that? He wants to let me know, listen, I want to tell you, he didn't die alone. He said, because I come and took them away. And he says, for me, coming towards you, the hardest thing I'll ever do in life, in spirit, is leave you without your bends. He says, for one turn after another, 4 years apart. He says, where'd you start with that? He says, they miss you so much. They're around you for your birthday, by the way. Yeah. And we can always make sure that you put the plants. And we can also make sure as well that whatever happens here, don't move, because they're very familiar with your house.
But when we're not it's massive. And when we're about to finish out,
Stand with me. He says, I'm all right, Mum. I'm with Papa. I'm with Papa Mom. And I'm sorry that we never had a chance, and I'm sorry for the reactions. He says I did more upset him. He's kind of like this. It's like this with his hand. It's like this. He wants to say, I hope you can understand that I'm back to me again. And he said, listen, I'm borrowing my papa's coat. Right? He says, and I was awfully cold. He says, but the one thing I've left you with, all this, that, and the other. He says, I wish I could just give you my voice to say, that's not me, Mum. It's not me. I'm all right, though. I'm okay. You've got to believe it. He says, I've had a little go with the car, by the way. Right? And he says, I read the ending. He says, and I'm revving it and revving it and revving it. He says, and I've followed my brother, he said, because he's sitting there looking at lasses. Right? And he wants to tell you that he says, I want to let you know that whatever happens here, he says, do us a favour. He says, you know, I'm your son. He said, because I've got your eyes. Yeah. He says, even my granddad's given us a haircut. He's given us about one side of it. He's given us about one side of it. And he says, you hear? He said, Mum, you've dropped your pelvic floss. He says, here, you can have it back. He says, I found it for you. He wants to let you know you don't have to go back to Scotland to find me. He says, because I'm right beside you. He says, I've always been right beside you. But when the time was wrong, he says, was it right or wrong? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you that now. I do know you kissed me goodnight every night. He says, I know you do. He says, you still got my jacket hanging up in the wardrobe. He says, I know that now. He says, don't worry. Promise you, me and Papa have got a plan. He says, we've got a plan. He says, I don't know what plan he's got like, but he's telling us I've got a plan. And he wants to let you know here as well. He says, Mom, I hear that song and I shouldn't be singing it to you. Please forgive me. Oh. And I'll always be your boy. I'll always be there. I'm just sorry that it wasn't right. I'm all right though. Listen, when I got a little thing, just a little one. He's 2 years old and he tried vodka. You didn't have the teeth for that, you had the teeth for life. And you still got the teeth for life. He says, my father's got us doing all these errands. He says, you come back and tell Grandma I'm all right. But I miss you, Mum. Every day. I'm all right. There's a Harry or H connection. He wants to give me this. He's saying, I've got to go. Cheerio, sweetheart. It's from your father. We're okay. Just don't worry about it. Connection here, I need to bring this energy forward. Right. Can I bring it in? Yeah. I'm not saying that you've lost a sister, but can I bring the female through? Is that okay? Right beside you, and she wants to let me know she's all right now. Okay. And I know that you've got a smaller family. Yeah, and you can count on the hand of your family. I can understand that, but this lady wants to let you know that she's very glamorous and she's very struck on you. So can I bring her forward? Is that okay? Are you still fell over your mother? Sorry? Do you fall over your mother? No. What I'm trying to say is, did she fall over the mother? And where's the connection towards Doris? Or a Doreen? She's giving me dust. And she's trying to tell me here as well. She wants to let me know that she's not fell out with people, but she speaks her mind, and believe me, the trees are sharp. Okay, so can I bring her forward? Is that okay? And I need to see this as well. This has got to be connected towards our dad side of the family, not mother's side. Can I bring this forward? Yes. And I need to bring 2 gentlemen through as well, but this lady just wants to have a word, is that okay? And don't get us wrong, I'm not saying that when she comes in, she strikes like lightning. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at her though. Okay, because she's got a very, very close connection here. She's trying to tell me that she's got another gentleman that has been wandering about, and she says she's taking him in. Okay, and she also wants to let me know here as well that there's a connection towards a kit. She's trying to give me this. She's saying to me, whatever happens, will you go back and tell your mum? Will you go back and tell your mum? Is your mum here? Thank you. Can I bring mum through? You've got to go back and tell mum. If you might not understand what I'm saying here, I'm bringing your mother through. She's very glamorous. She's beautiful. She is now. But she wants to tell me you've got to go back and tell mum. Okay? So what I'm trying to say to you is, you two were very, very on par with each other. But things, if she didn't like what you were doing, she'll tell you. Can I bring her through? Yeah. And what she's trying to tell me as well is that it's not so much of an illness that caught her. It's not so much of that, Henny. She ran out of time very quickly. And she wants to tell you that she misses you so dearly that you two got it right. But believe me, you're 2 opposites from each other now. You're very, very opposite. But you made it work. Yeah? Where's the connection to Liz? Elizabeth or Betty connection? No, she's telling me that she's with a connection towards a Mary, and she's giving me a Betty here. She's telling me that she's with another lady that stands beside her, but she goes her own way, your mother, and she does her own code. Okay? She's very in tune with her side of the family that it's not so much forgiveness, Timmy, but how can I put this in terms? If you're upset her, believe me, she won't get you now, she'll get you later. Okay? She's trying to tell me this. She's also trying to see that she's with Dad. So can I bring him through as well? Yeah? He's not the quiet one. Can I bring Dad through? Is that okay? Your mum and dad are together and they're a lovely couple, don't get us wrong, but your dad knows where the back door is. Okay? And one thing they need to see is they loved each other dearly, but my God, your mother goes her own way. She's telling me that the both of them are together, they will be together, but 2 different people. She's trying to let me know that there is a lovely lady in between the 2 of them, and that must be your granny. And she wants to let me know she resigns with her as well. There's your dad coming through. There was a problem to the brain. Can you accept that? With your dad. Can you understand the accomplishment? So there was a problem with communication with your dad. Because he's coming in. He just wants to see if he can voice his words better. He can talk to you now, and he's a lot more happy. And he also wants to let you know as well that he's picking up what he left off, and believe me, he's always on the job, your father, okay? And he just wants to tell you that he's laughing and joking here, and he tries to make light of everything. But your mother's just stepped on the side as if to say fight him. And they love you dearly, they really do. There is a lovely connection towards, as I say to you, there's a connection towards a Mary coming through as well. And one thing the young man wants to tell me here, that is true devotion. She's going to break her down just to make you happy, and that's what's important. Did you reunite with a brother recently? Can you understand the connection towards reuniting with the young man? Because she says she was in the room with you when you did it, or when you were happy, okay? And she just wants to let you understand here that she's trying to give you a connection to Dave. A David or a Dave connection. And she says, go back and tell them I'm listening. She's going to be that reunited, that she's fine. She's also saying to me, I haven't got much time here, honey. She says, but if you need it, you'd always remember, keep to traditions. You've got everything that you need in front of you, but you definitely need my support. And she says, I'm right beside you. Did you hold the baby recently? Well, you will be soon. It's not yours, honey. It's not yours. You're fine, right? But your mother wants to see if the stalk's on its way, it's in your direction. Okay? She's telling me that you're going to be holding a baby girl. Watch out for her. And believe me, I wouldn't be surprised if the new addition's coming in, especially on your mother's terms. She wants to let me know here that there's no fuss. There is always love. And she just wants to tell you she's okay. But most importantly, she got you dad where she wants him. Is that a good thing? Does it give you peace to know that the two of them are together?
Yeah.
I hope so. Because all I say is, if you want something that's a legend, it's definitely your father, but your mother. Quality. Beautiful energy. She's laughing and joking. And by the way, she says she's got a hair museum. Perfect. She's coming her energy back through, my love. She sends love. I've got a connection to a gentleman coming through. I need to wait a moment when he comes in. Right, okay, thank you. Got it. Are you ready? Can I bring this energy over here, my love? Yeah. Can I bring this energy forward? Is that okay? Yeah. Now then, I've got 3 gentlemen coming through here that want to say hello to you. And not they're all saying hello all together at once, like, but we'll give it a go. Okay? And I need to bring. And I need to bring the young female through as well. So can I bring her forward? Because she's standing above your head and she's kissing you. And she wants to let you know that she's always around you. And she also wants to say she's loving you like this. She's hugging you, hugging you, hugging you. And she wants to tell you that she's found every answer on the other side. But she says, I miss you every day. And she also wants to let me know, so you've lost your husband and a connection to a child. Can I bring them through? Is that okay? Is your husband, well, are you sure? Because he's still saying he's still married to you. It's just coming, right? Don't do this yet. Every tea and says, there's my wife. Don't do this yet. In my tea and says, there's my wife. You were quite happy before we started. Now, don't get us wrong. I'm not saying that I'm bringing out the frankincense and Henny because if I have, he's nicked it off the altar. He's nicked it off the altar. Where's his daughter? You can't escape your father, you know that, don't you? Okay, but believe me, your man's your best mate. Yeah, and your man, but your dad wants to come through to say sorry to you. My dad? No, you. Okay. Now he wants to come through to let you know that thank you for stepping up when you did. Thank you for being there. And believe me, I'm not saying that you've seen his last breath, but you could have. He was not far away from it. And he just wants to let you know you weren't meant to be in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, you've looked for answers with me all your life. He says, Henny, there's nothing special about me, you know. He says, I was the one who fell in love with your mother. He says, and then she shooed us out the door. I hope the door. I hope the door hit you on the head. But he wants to let you know that he's given you all these photographs of when you were kids. And he also wants to tell you that he's right beside you, and he's gone like this, he's gone, look at this, look at that, look, but he would not admit defeat. He wouldn't, and believe me, he could lie all the way to the bank and this, that, and the other. I lost my wallet, you know. Oh, I found it again. The money's gone. I wonder what happened there. Aye. That was it, the greatest excuse. He just wants to tell you that he's been around you, and he just wants to let me know. He says, I didn't realise how much of a beautiful lady you turned out to be. Even though you didn't believe a word he said. Okay, but he also wants to tell you, thank you for stepping up. He said, because when you held my hand and then walked out the door and I died, he said, I just want to say, I'm sorry for leaving you and stranded again. I'm sorry, Henry. He says, because I seen my father and I had to run somewhere. He says, I was lying out there and I see my dad come in this mess. He went, woof, we're going to have to go somewhere. He says, and then you have to come back. And then you have to take on the responsibility of sending me away. He says, I'm sorry you had to do that. He says, thanks for the verses. And he says, thanks for getting me song wrong. And he wants to let you know, I know they do it all day. He says, bar humbug. Right? Yeah. And he wants to tell you here as well. He says, I wish that I could have been. If there's one thing that I regret through life, is lying to you. He says, so always remember that. He's singing Bobby's Girl. He wants to give us this to give to you. He wants to let me know that he's right beside you. Now, I need to bring in a connection to a young lady through. Is that okay? And she wants to let me know she's right beside you with your mum. So can I bring her forward? Can I bring her forward? Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah. Now I need to let you understand this. This is definitely on your father's side of the family. Oh, right. Yes. Because she's standing above your head and she misses you so much. Yes. And she wants to let you know here that she stands beside you, but she'll come in every rift. Anybody's arguing, she'll be like, please don't argue now, everybody calm down. But she loves you to bits. Right? And she's given me a lineage. But she's found your dad and she stays with him. So your dad's coming. I didn't get it wrong, so is an express train. Aye. So this is your dad's sister. And connected, yeah. And there's a Lily connected. Yeah. And she's connected and she's standing here in the room next to your father. Now your father's scratching the back of his heels here, didn't he? And he's trying to tell you I can stand up straight now. You should see it. Right? You miss your dad. He wants to say you've inherited me hair so you couldn't miss his apple. Right? But you bear in mind about Brenda. Or Bren. My Brenda, I love you every day. Don't you ever think you're alone now, he says, because I'll always sweep the path. And he says, don't ever feel like you're right beside it. He says, I'm right beside you in life. He says, so you'll always be my Brenda. And I miss you so much. He says, so always remember this, honey. He said, because the time we were apart, he shouted for his dad. He says, I couldn't talk back. He says, so remember things that will always be treasured. He says, but always remember one thing. He says, when I get that calling, it will be a long time yet. He says, me and you will go for look. I'll come for you. He says, I'll come for you. I will be the person to come for you. Because you'll always be dad's girl. He says, because you miss me as much as I miss you. And he wants to let you know, he says, I've got to go now. Thank you. What's the connection to Georgie? Or George connection?
Georgie, I can say.
Can you accept this? But is this your baby then?
No,
What's the connection to Georgie?
my dad's best friend, but he was like me about.
Well, he needs to let you know that he raised the George to you. Okay, but your dad's still with us, is he?
No,
Right, he's with dad. Okay, so I need to bring this forward, is that all right?
yeah,
Because as we connected before, but I need to give you this look and understanding because he's trying to tell us, he said, I'm part of the singing crew and I'm trying to get your father involved. He says, and he just hums and nods. He wants to let you know, Mum's passed as well. No, different kind of room telling you what it is. Because them two were very close with her. And your mother didn't like Georgie. You tell her, and you're in the dog's house. And he wants to let you know here as well. He says, here, you can have me scrapbook. He says, but there's no scraps in it, honey. He says, I'm saving every penny for you. Oh, there's another young man coming in here. That must be Sean. Is he your partner, love?
no, he wasn't. We were like best friends.
Do you know what I can honestly say? You saved him. When anybody else, you always turned up, and believe me, I tell you something now, you always come in with an excuse for everything. He's found your fella, and you always open the door for him. Just always remember this. He's trying to tell you, your father says, don't come back and tell your mother I'm with Georgie. And Sean wants to let you know, happy birthday. And he also wants to tell you that he's never far away from your love. Okay? But he also wants to say, when everybody else has a little bit of speculation, because you've been talking about him recently, he says, didn't listen to them. He says, they don't even know us. Yeah. He says, yes, you will get out of the town you're in. You're going to be all right. He says, and this baby's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. Do you know what this is? Is it a little boy? Oh, are you going to call a Sean then?
No, definitely not.
Delilah. Well, they want to tell me here, they've just come in to let you understand that they're all together, but your father's looking after him. He said, because he looked after you. Yeah. And he just wants to say, give us a chin. He says, chin up, Penny. He says, but do us a favour. Don't ever forget the good times. He said, because it's not like that anymore. He says, I've got to go. I miss you all the time. And yet, you were my best mate. You still are. He's pulling this energy back through, man. And you enjoy. Okay. I've got some sad news now. I'm going to break it to you. We're going to have to leave it. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Yeah. Does it give you comfort to know that they're around you? Yeah. But another thing as well, you know what I always say is that I always leave it in their hands. And every turning to turning, year after year, there's something that they leave behind, and that's an essence. So the people that we spoke to tonight, they're not past tense, by the way, because if you could see them in my eyes, you'll know that they're here and now. They're always with you. They're never far away. So for the people that did receive messages, take them home with you from the heart. For people who didn't, don't ever think your family's not with you, because not what I can say. There's only so many messages I can bring down in one night or one time. I just want to say you've been an amazing crowd. Really, I've got the thing on record. I must probably leave my phone there all night long. But when I've recorded it, if you want to have a look at the screenshot, you can have a look at the group and everything else and invite yourselves. But always remember that phone back's there for evidence for when you want to have a look and listen back to them. You've been a beautiful audience for the first one in 2023. And if it's going to go the way it is, I'll be praised. I really would. And I just want to say thank you very much for your time. friend, I'll leave it in reviews. No words mean a lot to me. Please leave a review on Facebook, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank
Good night. Thank you. Good night.